Once upon a time there lived a prince who married the most beautiful princess. But he has not yet had enough time to feast his eyes upon her when the day came for them to part. And before leaving, the husband begged his wife not to leave her chambers, and this she promised to do. But one sunny day, a woman came to the princess's chambers. "The day is so nice. Why don't you at least go for a walk in the forest?" she said. At first the princess would not hear of it, but then she thought there would be nothing bad about it, and she agreed. In the forest there was a stream with fresh and clear water, and the woman said, "The water is so clear and fresh, why don't you take a dip?" The princess would not hear of it, but then she agreed. She took off her gown and stepped into the water. And at this very moment the witch, for it was a witch, struck the girl on her back and turned her into a white duck. Quack, quack. And the witch put on the princess's dress, made up the princess's face, and sat down to wait for the prince. By and by, time flies. There he was, the prince, at the gate. The evil woman rushed out to meet him and kissed him, and the prince, without any thought, pressed her to his heart. Meanwhile, the white duck laid 3 eggs, and 3 babies were hatched, 3 boys. The mother took good care of them and always told them not to go far, but the boys would not listen to her, and one day they found themselves in the prince's courtyard. The witch knew at once who they were. She gnashed her teeth in anger. She got them inside, gave them food and drink, and put them to bed, and told her servant to kindle the fire, to boil the water, to sharpen the knife. She passed her hand over the boys' pretty faces, uttered some evil words, for they could never wake up. In the morning, the mother called out to her sons, but they didn't hear her. She rushed to the prince's court, and there they were, sleeping a dead sleep. She called out to them in a human voice, "Quack, quack, my dear sons! Quack, quack, my beloved ones!" But in vain. The prince was surprised to hear the duck speaking in a human voice. He told his people to catch it, but they couldn't, and only when he himself went after her, she quietly came to his hands. He understood there was magic in it. He struck the duck on the ground and said, "Stand before me, a white birch. Rise behind me, a fair maid." And there she was, his dear wife, as beautiful as on their wedding day. They took some living water and sprinkled it over the faces of their sons, and the lads came back to life. Now the prince had his whole family with him. And the witch they tied to a horse's tail, and the horse sat across the field, and nothing was left of the witch, neither trace, no word, no memory.